excellent author, but it takes a great filmmaker to adapt this work.
I grew up loving The Shining. That's one of my top films, and I remember as a kid trying to read that book and then watching that terrible TV mini series movie they made.
The remake, the second
remake,
one they made. Yeah, I remember that.
It was exactly supposed to be closer to the book, and just growing up years later and really becoming a big fan of Kubrick and hearing the stories of how King would call him up at because he's shooting in England, King's in America, so the time difference would be he'd be calling Kubrick at 4 a.m. while he's trying to sleep, and berating Kubrick for ruining his
masterpiece
of the story. And then when The Shining comes out, it gets critical praise, and people are praising Kubrick for changing King's story. Kubrick did it right back to him. And I was like, "Did you read this review? Did you see this?"
Oh man!
So I think when it comes to just on the topic of book to film to book or book to screen, pretty much. I think you can make with a book you can be endless. You can go 500 pages and make multiple chapters or volumes to it. With a book, you only have maybe, if you're lucky, 90 minutes to tell a great story. And you have to pick the best moments to do it.
Like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
There's stacks and stacks and volumes of this series. And they're like, okay, well, we're wrapping it up. Yeah. It's time. We're going to end it.
And you really, and I know a lot of people that I've never read the books. I watched the TV show, and people were like, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. And I'm like, you don't have to. If they're telling the best story possible that they can get that makes sense to people and is able to entertain a broad audience, then they're doing their job right. They don't have to entertain you because of this little facet of the book that you think deserves to be in this.
Right. No, it's almost like the Cliff Notes, right? Yeah. But it's the best parts. You're taking the best parts out of that book and you're making it the movie. It's the things that are going to entertain people.
So if you like the Demon Stone movie, get ready for the Demon Stone book.
Oh my God, the novelization.
The novel is something else. Yeah. We go hard in the backstories.
Oh man.
Pun intended.
So what's next? What else have you worked on since then? When did Demon Stone, when was it originally released?
So that was released. So it took us about 2 years to wrap it up from concept to the premiere at the Ambler Theater around 2013. And then a little bit after 2013, we just started making, we were still making some short films. And we had some successful, we entered in so many different film festivals, and we won tremendous awards. And I think around that point, around 2014, Matt found the Mahoning Drive-In Theater, and he started dedicating a lot of his time towards, resurrecting that, restoring that to what it is today, which is tremendous. And around that time, I was at a point where I was ready to go back to school and finish up my degree. So we kind of just parted ways for a little while he went to save this dying drive-in. I was finishing my degree up. And so far, he's done a great job with Mahoning.
Yeah, tell me. Let's talk about the Mahoning.
The Mahoning Drive-In Theater is the, I don't know how you put it. It's the one and only all retro 35mm exclusive theater. It's very rare in what it is, in that it plays only old movies, and it plays old movies on film whenever possible. We do have digital capacity. It's a system of my own design that I built for the theater because we couldn't afford a real system. But it basically is the closest example of a classic drive-in that exists today, in the sense that it has the most original equipment, it has the most original layout, it has its original screen and snack bar, whole nine. So when you go there, you literally step back in time. You go, and you've been there. You've seen.
Oh yeah,
it's
I've
old.
been there.
Everything is old.
It is Americana.
But what makes it so unique is, while it is this, historically accurate representation of a classic drive-in, the way it operates and what it's doing is brand new, in the sense that, we're pushing this retro agenda that's kind of a new movement, and this we're embracing 35mm, which studios originally thought we were crazy to do, because it's all digital now. Why would you run a 35 millimeter outfit? They're not even striking prints anymore.
Well, why would you?
Twofold. There's two reasons for that. One, because it's cool. There's nothing like seeing a film on 35 millimeter. And there's actually a documentary, an honest to God documentary about the Mahoning. And in there, I say, film is a unique presentation. It's different every time you see it. And film is organic. It's imperfect. It's a physical medium, which means that what you see on that screen is you're only going to see it that way in those parameters at that theater on film. With digital, you can kind of replicate it and duplicate it, and every copy is kind of the same. But with film, it's every single one is unique. You know, there's going to be a splice in one print that's not in another print. There's going to be a scratch in one print that's not in another print. There's different film stocks that look different. So there's all these different factors. And time is a factor, too. We play archival prints. We play theatrical prints. We play prints of movies that played in theaters when they came out. Our opening weekend, Willy Wonka, is a theatrical print. It's a print from the 70s that we play. So you see it as you saw it decades ago. I mean, not the same because the print's a little more worn out now, but it's something that you're not going to see that anywhere else. And, you know, to do things like play the Evil Dead trilogy on 35 millimeter, that's pretty crazy. And that's pretty cool. Something we've done. Or to do a John Carpenter marathon on 35 millimeter, playing theatrical prints, also something we've done. Or to play something as edgy as Cannibal Holocaust on 35 millimeter on a theatrical red faded print. We've done it. And that's the coolest thing about what we're doing. But we're also playing Shawshank Redemption. We're also playing these big movies that everyone remembers. We play The Goonies. We do it because, you know, we play movies for everybody, but we do it on their original format, which is film. Now, if we can't get a film, yes, we go digital. We have a digital system. But we also use that system to do something insanely cool because we also have VHS Fest, where we play VHS tapes on a 75-foot tall screen that's 108 feet wide, and it's massive. And tape looks surprisingly good on a monster like that. So we're insane.
Tell me more about VHS Fest, because this is the thing. I have some VHSs stashed away in the garage somewhere.
Yes. Well, if you want to see them on a big screen, just come to the Mahoning and bring them, and I can play them for you.
Oh my God.
That's kind of the cool thing about our outfit is if I'm there and you catch me on a day where I'm in a good mood and you give me a movie and you want to see it, who's to say what's going to happen when the place closes down after the show? Ooh. Yeah, I'm not confirming or denying that we play random movies, but I'm just saying, you know, sometimes, you know, you get bored and you want to watch a movie for yourself. Sometimes I'm always working when the theater's open. I don't get to see the movies, so hey, what happens after hours? You know, private screenings. You know, I don't know what do you want to do?
But you're talking about you're talking about film, like some of these concepts that come up two things here. One, you talked about film, and I want to step back because you guys did do a Kickstarter where you got a camera that ran film.
Yeah.
But then there was also overall, like, how hard is it to preserve film? Because I remember, like, I hear stories about, you know, you go on the internet, you'll hear things like there's a whole series, big section of like Doctor Who that was lost in a fire, and there's no backup of it. Like, how hard is it to preserve film?
It is impossible in the sense that film is disappearing, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. The industry has moved on. The industry is digital. That is a reality that we're dealing with. The prints that are left now are either restruck prints that are going to deteriorate over time, or theatrical prints that are already in various stages of decay that will only get worse over the years. So over time, you're going to see fewer and fewer 35 millimeter prints available. Yeah. There are some big movies out there that don't even have 35 millimeter as an option.
Oh wow!
So there are movies that we would want to play that we just can't get a print just because no one has them, or if someone does, they're a collector that's hanging on to them, trying to save them. They don't want to run it at a theater, so they're just going to keep it in their basement forever. Which, what good does that do?
Well, no, it's going to run out.
Yeah.
It's going to deteriorate anyway, right?
Yeah. So we're lucky enough that we know enough. We have enough connections to studios that still have vaults, and we have enough collectors under our belt that we're able to keep this 35 exhibition alive as long as we can. Like I said, we have a digital option that's going to upgrade and grow over time. We are always going to be retro, but I'm telling everybody who's listening to this podcast, if you see a film you want to see on film and it's playing at a movie theater, I don't care which theater, go see it, because it might be your last chance. We're playing Home Alone this year at the drive-in.
Oh my God.
You were aware of the Disney Fox acquisition.
Yes.
So Disney is not allowing theatrical exhibition of their repertory titles.
What?
And no, not at all. So they grandfathered in current bookings. Well, Home Alone's a Fox title. We've got it along with Home Alone 2. We're running that on 35 millimeter film. But here's the kicker. Disney's not a fan of the past. They love getting rid of the past. And what do you think is going to happen to this Prince after we play them?
They're not going to let you play them?
No, they're not going to let anybody play them because that's not how they want you to see it. So I'm just saying, if you want to see it the way it's supposed to be seen, you got to see it this year. It's your last chance.
Yeah, I work at indoor theater, the Ambler Theater, and I'm just started running our own cult classic series called Retrograde. And our first show was Alien on 35 millimeter. And literally a day beforehand, that was when Fox and Disney announced their final acquisition. So the 35 millimeter print of the Alien that we're going to get for that night, for this 40th anniversary screening, for a kickoff of this big series I've been putting months and months of work into.
Wait, I thought it already happened.
So it did happen, but it was like this thing that it was like kind of like they said that we're acquiring one another, and it was months ago, but the deal didn't go through.
I don't mean the deal. I thought the screening of Alien already happened.
It did happen.
Because I was upset because I missed it.
Yeah. So
you're doing it again?
No, we did it. And we did it on film. Because what happened was the print wasn't sent to us. And I'm like, well, we have to show this on film. And thankfully, Matt, who's worked with Exhumed Films over at the Mahoning, got me in contact with Harry. And they saved our show, and they sent us our original 1979 print. And one of our high school kids that works at the theater, he was bummed. He's like, oh, man, I wish it was more like a more pristine print. I told him, look, dude, this film, Alien's now owned by Disney. This is a 1979 print. You'll never see this again. You can be one of those people that said, I saw Alien, the 1979 film print. I'm like maybe one of the last people that has ever seen it on film. Because the film, it's old. So it's like there's this red shift in where the film's, stock looks a little red or maybe the sound's a little off. And I'm like, you got to understand, this stuff, you can only see it, however it's presented, you want to see it. Because you never know, like Matt said, with Disney, they're trying to get rid of the past. And we were lucky enough to play Alien on 35 right before, the acquisition truly went through.
So go see Warner Brothers titles and go see Universal films because they are retro-friendly outfits. Universal is actually awesome. They work very well with us. They do all kinds of cool deals with us, and they love film. So big shout out, Universal. Go get them. And Warner Brothers too, honestly, awesome. We started our retro adventure with Warner Brothers, and while they're a little bit on the pricier side, they're super easy to work with. And they've been super reliable for us. So, I gotta give the boys that have helped us out a big shout because, it's because of those big studios that were willing to work with that tiny little drive-in that didn't mean anything to them. That meant a lot to us. And we have a whole bunch of studios under our belt now that work with us and make these shows happen, along with private collectors, along with people who are passionate about film. And so, we're on the registry with Kodak. We are a 35 millimeter outfit. So if you want to see a film the way God intended, you got to see it here or at Retrograde at the Ambler.
Yeah, Retrograde. And even at the Ambler, we were lucky enough to, now we're taking prints from the Library of Congress. We donated, we had a collector, Lou D, who left all his prints in one of our storage units. All these great old prints. We had a print of the original 83 Return of the Jedi in pristine condition that we donated to the Library of Congress to preserve, and we would run it before showtime sometimes for the staff. So I got to see Jedi, the original Jedi from '83 on film before we donated to the Library of Congress. But they're taking them, and thankfully places like Library of Congress, because we donated to them, is more open to work with us and send us prints because they're preserving it.